All right, hello everyone, welcome back. Emma here. Thank you so much for joining me for another yoga practice. I'm not sure how much you can see. I have some sort of crazy rash going on. I was teaching outside this weekend and I don't know if it was like something in the grass or a bug, but it is insane and it's insanely itchy. So I'm gonna try to not be distracted for the next class. Let's go ahead and get started today on our backs. You can come to any comfortable position on your back. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, which is super exciting. I've been teaching on YouTube for a little over a year. Kind of just started it out as a hobby. I was traveling a bunch and wanted something a little bit more meaningful to do than just, going to be a tourist everywhere. So I started doing some YouTube yoga classes since I was practicing yoga every day anyway. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for being here. If you're a subscriber, I so appreciate you. And if you're not yet, maybe you will after this class. That would be wonderful. Any comfortable position on your back will do, and we'll go ahead and get started. Make any adjustments you need to feel a little bit more comfortable in your body, whether that's adjusting your clothing, closing your eyes, relaxing your jaw, just finding a place to place your arms or your legs that feels good. Start to notice the parts of the body that are touching the mat. Allow them to feel heavy, grounded. Allow the pressure of the mat to kind of soften those spots. Start to lengthen your breath. Inhales a little bit deeper. Exhales all the way, clearing it out. As you do this, you might start to feel a little bit more space, a little bit more awareness in your body, and that's the goal. Breathing practice. Poses are just extra. On your next inhale, go ahead and take a full body stretch. Legs forward, arms overhead. Arch your back a little bit. And hug the knees into your chest. And give yourself a squeeze, and then you can draw some circles with your knees. So you could keep those knees together, or you could circle the knees away from each other. Maybe a little tuck of your chin so the back of the neck gets longer. If you prefer arms by your side, you could do that as well. And take your knees the opposite direction, or just switch what you're doing a little bit. Any spaces that feel a little sticky or tight, just pause, breathe into it. We'll meet with both knees into the chest. Bring your arms out wide like a T. If you're short on space, cactus arms. Take knees left, gaze right. You can kind of choose, with most things in your practice, how you would like to adjust this. So you could just melt into the stretch, that's always nice. Or you could make it a little bit more active. Imagine zipping up the inner thighs, little squeeze. You might feel a little bit more activation in your core, or a little bit more twist in your lower back. Let's take one more breath here with the knees over to the left. And then slowly draw your knees through center and take both knees over to the right. Same idea. Kind of adjust this how you would like. Adding that activation, I definitely feel it in the lower back. You can think of gluing the left shoulder blade down. Let's take one more breath here. And then bring both knees up through center. Catch behind your hamstrings, rock up and down the length of your spine, 3, 4, maybe 5 times. And then after your last time, we'll meet in a seat with the right shin in front. So easy seated Sukasana, right shin in front of left. Take a moment to get your good setup. Sitting bones grounded, spine tall. Inhale, stretch both arms out and up. You'll bring your right hand down outside your right hip, stretch your left arm up and over. Imagine your right hand sliding a piece of paper away from you. Spiral chest up and maybe even look up under your left tricep. Sink your left hip. Next, inhale, lift up. Keep your left arm high and then take your left hand to your right knee. Right hand behind you, you're twisting to the right. Sitting bones rooting into the mat, gaze over right shoulder, and then relax your shoulders away from your ears. Draw your belly button towards your spine. And then keep your left hand exactly where it is. Right arm comes up and over to grab your left knee. Elbows are crossed with the right arm on top. Tuck your chin to your chest and round your back a bit. Think cat pose. Could even sink back a little bit on the sitting bones. And then keeping the elbows crossed, either eagle arms. If you're not ready for that just yet, grab opposite shoulders. Forearms go forward, little tuck of your chin. Feel the back of your neck lengthen. Notice if you're arching your back a lot. Just try to knit the ribs in towards the hips. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release that with the arms. Plant your hands behind you. Either fingers point towards you or out to the outside edges of your mat. Feet in front of you, hips up. Reverse table. From your glutes, try to get your knees, hips, shoulders in one line. You can look up or drop your head back. Take a big breath in. And exhale, seat down. Cross your left shin in front of your right. Inhale, reach both arms out and up. And then left hand outside your left hip, stretch your right arm up and over. Squeeze your left oblique. Think of a spiral of the chest up. So if you're dumping forward, try to lean back a little bit. We do this often in side angle as well. It's easier to just kind of dump forward. You want to try to open it up. And then bring your torso back up, right arm stays up. Your right hand goes to your left knee, left hand behind you, twist. Gaze over left shoulder. Think about spreading the collarbones apart a little bit, more space in the chest. Keep your right hand where it is. Left arm comes up and over, grabbing your right knee. Round your back a bit like cat pose. So the arms are crossed, left arm on top. I kind of like to grab the knees and then try to press the knees down. You should feel some opening in the upper back. Keep your elbows crossed, eagle arms. So right arms on the bottom, opposite shoulders, great option. Forearms forward, feel some space between the shoulder blades. Lifting through the crown of the head on the inhales. Exhale, settling in. Unwind your arms. This time we'll plant the hands out in front of us and find a tabletop position. Take your time getting there. Never feeling like you're in a rush on your mat. The next pose will always be there for you. On your inhale, arch your back, cow pose, look up. On your exhale, chin to chest, round your back. Inhale, arch back, look up. Exhale, round. Keep it moving, cat-cow. Follow the pace of your breath. Try to find the top of each inhale and the bottom of each exhale before you start that next movement. If you'd like to add in any free-form organic movement here, like hip circles, figure eights, rolling out your neck and shoulders, please feel free to do so. Allow the body to move in a way that feels good, loosening up those tight muscles or anywhere you might be holding some stress. Just try to send some movement, send your breath there. start to activate your Ujjayi breath. Inhales, exhales through your nose. Little contraction back of your throat. Let's say 3 more before we go ahead and meet in a downward facing dog. Last 2 breaths. And 1, no rush, but down dog when you're ready. You can keep the movement going in down dog by pedaling out the legs, shaking out the head yes and no, maybe rocking the hips side to side. Start to wake up the back side of the body, finding some length. Drive your heels towards the mat. They don't need to touch. You could always put a little bend in your knees in down dog as well. It does not make it wrong. I'd rather have you flip your tailbone up, outer hips up, than start to round your spine just to get your legs straight. So if you need, bend those knees. Take a big breath in and exhale. Lift your right leg up and bend your knee. Stack your right hip on top of your left. Find any movement that feels good. Maybe you start with the ankle, then draw some hip circles. You could also kick your right heel towards your seat. Then take a big inhale, square off your right hip. On your exhale, crunch knee to your nose, round your back. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh, figure 4 down dog or figure 4 bear. So personally, I like the left knee bent also, and then think of sending the right knee back. Flex your right foot. Then look forward, step your right foot to your right thumb, so you're in a runner's lunge. Once you get there, drop your left knee to the mat. Untuck your toes and reach both arms up. Low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Think about your right heel as your anchor. Drive it down. Right hand, grab your left wrist and lean over to the right. Squeeze your right oblique. If you prefer, your right hand can come down to your hip. Inhale back up through center. Eagle wrap, left arm underneath right. If that doesn't feel nice just yet, bring your forearms together, long prayer hands. Either way, you're going to start to lift the elbows up and curl back. Here for stability, you might feel a little wobbly. Try to squeeze your left glute and drive your right heel down. Take a breath in and release. Half split, arms to the mat. Send your hips back, flex your right toes. Leg doesn't need to be straight. Think about your sternum coming forward, shoulders back. So if it helps, you could walk your hands back a little bit for 3, 2, 1. Rebend your right knee. We'll meet in a runner's lunge. Back knee up, left hand down, right arm goes up, twisting. Look up at your right hands. Think about stacking the shoulders. And then cactus your right arm. I like to make a fist. Think right elbow towards your tailbone, almost like you're pulling a resistance band. Really draw those shoulder blades together. Look up. And then extend your right arm forward, palm face down. Big release. Gaze up under your right tricep. Really keep that twist of the torso. Feel a lot of length through the right side. Then bring your right hand down. Step your left foot to meet your right. Inhale, halfway lift. Pull the shoulders back. Exhale, forward fold. You can always bend the knees. Come all the way up to stand. Both arms, look up. Right hand, grab your left wrist and lean over to the right. Squeeze the inner thighs. Imagine zipping them up. Most of the weight in the heels, light toes. Hips a little left. Inhale, center. Cactus your arms and lean back. Shoulder blades together, hips forward, chin up. Bind your hands with the right thumb on top. Open up through your chest. Think about the spine going towards your hearts. Keep your grip, bend your knees, take it down for a fold. Think of crawling your belly and your ribs down your legs. Relax the back of your neck so your gaze is back at your shins, arms up and over. Focus on those exhales and then release your hands to the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant both hands, step back with your right foot, then your left foot to high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, let's go ahead and lower all the way down onto the mat this first time. Untuck your toes and then bump your elbows out to cactus arms. Tops of the feet stay down, lift just your upper body. Shoulder blades together, elbows lifting. Extend your arms forward, palms face each other like you're holding a yoga block. Bonus points if you actually want to hold a yoga block. Shoulders want to go up towards the ears, but can you plug them back and then lift your legs up for 3. Try to get the heels closer to each other. Squeeze 2. Wind feet down. Slide your hands back under your shoulders. Your chest is still lifted, so you have the activation in your back. Just really press down through your hands, Cobra Pose. You might find a little bit more ease doing it this way. Firm your glutes, melt the shoulders. And then let's go ahead and tuck the toes, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Lift your left leg up behind you, bend your left knee, stack your hips. You can roll out the ankle, hip, or find any movement again that feels good. While you're here, it's kind of easy to open the chest up to the left. Really try to square the shoulders. So think about the left armpit dropping, the right palm presses forward and down. And then inhale, square off your hips. Exhale, crunch left knee to your nose, round your back. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh, figure 4 down dog or figure 4 bear. Left toes flex to protect the knee, long arms. Head relaxed. Look forward, step left foot to your left thumb, runner's lunge. Right knee to the mat, sweep both arms up. Untitled B. If your left knee is going past your ankle, you got to walk your foot out a little further. Left hand, grab your left wrist and lean to the left. And then if the left knee falls out, you want to bring it back in line with the hip. Back up through center, eagle wrap, right arm under, or long prayer hands, forearms together. Squeeze your right glute as you curl back. Lift your elbows, spine towards your heart. Draw your belly button towards your spine. This will also help with stability. And then release your arms, hands to the mat. Ardha Hanumanasana, half splits. Flex your left toes. Feel the femur bone come back towards the hip socket. You could always walk the hands back a bit or use some blocks. Bump it forward, runner's lunge, back toes tuck. Right hand down, left arm up, twisting. Same thing here. If the left knee wants to fall out, hug it into midline and then cactus your left arm. Elbow towards the tailbone. I like to make a fist. Feel the shoulder blades draw together. Keep your gaze up and then extend your left arm forward. Really feel that length through the left side. Keep the twist. Back of the right knee, press up. Left hand down, step your right foot up to meet your left. Inhale, halfway lift, shoulders back. Exhale, forward folds. All the way up to stand, both arms, look up. Once you're there, left hand, right wrist, and lean to the left. Inner shoulders down the spine, hips a little right. Almost imagine you're looking for your belly button. So you kind of got to pull the ribs in a little bit. Inhale back through center, cactus your arms and lean back. Chest open, elbows wide, look up. Bind your hands with the left thumb on top, knuckles towards the floor, chest lifting. Bend your knees, keep your grip, take it all the way down and fold. Focus on that exhale, crown of the head sinking, tailbone lifting. 3, 2, and 1. Hands to the mat, halfway lift, prepare. Plant both hands, step back, left foot, then right foot. On your exhale, chaturanga, knees up or down. No right or wrong, just different. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Finish your inhale and then exhale, downward facing dog. Use your lower abdominal strength to lift your hips up. Try to hide your heels behind your ankles. Spread your fingers out nice and wide. Think of pressing the inner palm down. Squeeze your inner thighs. Firm your thigh muscles onto the thigh bone. Next, inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, look forward, step, or if you're ready, jump to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. All the way up to stand, reach both arms, look up. Hands to your heart. And arms down by your side. Samastitihi. Imagine zipping up through the inner thighs. Everything squeeze, little lift almost all the way up through the crown of your head. So as you do that, you're zipping up, lifting, arms go up, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, bend the knees if you need, no shame in that, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha. Pull the shoulders back, sternum forward. Plant your hands, step or jump back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Finish your exhale, and then inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, that's upward facing dog. Shoulders back, roll over your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Neck relax, jaw relax, steady breath in and out through your nose, Ujjayi. Feel the heat start to build, maybe in your face, your throat, or in your core. Next, inhale, heels up, knees bend, look forward, step or jump to the top. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Bend into your knees, Utkatasana, chair pose or fierce pose, depending how you know it. Melt the shoulders. If this doesn't feel good with the feet together, take your feet hips distance. Take an inhale, look up at your hands. As you exhale, sweep your arms back and sit a little lower. Gaze is down at the top of your mat. Shoulder blades draw together. Keep your hips where they are. Reach your arms up, inhale. And again, last time, sweep your arms back and sit lower for 3. Look down at your mat, 2. 1, straight legs all the way up to stand, little back bend. And exhale all the way down, fold. Bring your feet hips distance, point your toes forward. Peace sign fingers grab your big toes, thumbs cap your big toe. On your inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold, elbows out and back, Padangusthasana. You can bend the knees as much as you need here. Use the strength of your arms to fold your body in half. Crawl your belly down your thighs, forehead towards your shins, shoulders out from the ears for 3. You're really focusing on the exhale and squeezing, 2. Last breath. Inhale, lengthen, release your grip. Hands under feet, Padahastasana. If you don't like this one, you could grab your ankles from the front instead. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Your toes are up towards your wrist crease, almost somersaulting your weight forward. You should feel a nice pressure in your wrists and your palms, almost like a little massage. Think about the shoulders coming away from each other, getting a little bit more space in the upper back for the spine to melt. Spine lengthening. Flip the tailbone up for 3. Squeeze your inner thighs, 2. 1, inhale, halfway lift. Release your hands. If you'd like Bakasana, crow pose, hands in front of you, knees towards your armpits. You're making a shelf with your elbows. Gotta squeeze your inner thighs, transverse abs, everything around your hip flexors. One or both feet might lift up. Could always practice this with a pillow underneath your face. That removes a little bit of the fear. If and when you're ready, step or jump your feet back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips to the sky. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back, but keep your hips square. Exhale, take a step to your right thumb. Spin your left heel down, rise up, warrior 1, both arms up. Drive your left hip forward, hip square to the front, relax shoulders. Inhale, look up, press your palms together. On your exhale, turn to the left, goddess pose. Heels in, toes out, scoop your tailbone, adjust your feet if you need. Knees press away from each other. And then inhale, rise, straight legs, arms up. Take a warrior 2 to the back of your mat. Left toes out. Again, adjust the feet if you need. Outer edge of the right foot, pressing down. Relax your shoulders. Steady gaze over your left fingers, and then flip your palm. Inhale, reverse warrior. On your exhale, side angle. Start with your elbow on your thigh or hand to a block. If that's going well, you could extend your top arm. Think of a lean back over the left thigh, kind of like we did in that first seated side stretch. So if you're jumping forward, lean back, look up. Skandasana to the front of your mat. Shift your weight to your right leg, flex your left toes. You could always lift your heel up, walk your hands forward. Lots of different options. If you'd like, you could open your arms, keep flexing your left toes. On your exhale, pivot towards the front of your mat, runner's lunge. Square your hips. Inhale, reach both arms up. Big bend in your right knee, left leg nice and straight. Take a breath in, look up at your hands. Exhale, both hands to the mat, chaturanga, step back. Take it through your flow, and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, take a step to your left thumb. Spin your right heel down, rise up, warrior one. Hips square to the front, so your right hip is driving forward. You can do that by squeezing your right glute. Look up at your hands, maybe palms pressed together. On your exhale, turn to the right side, goddess pose. Hands heart, scoop your tailbone, squeeze your glute muscles towards each other. Sit a little lower, and then inhale, straight legs, arms up. Warrior two, face the back of your mat. Turn your right toes out, knees away from each other. Look over your right fingers. Active arms, active hands. Flip your right palm, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Start elbow, thigh. You want a nice long line along the left side of the body. If that's going well, top arm extending. If your right toes grip the mat, more weight to the heel. Think of a lean back over the right leg. 3. Squeeze that left thigh muscle to protect the knee. 2. 1, Skandasana, front of your mat. Big bend left knee, flex your right toes. Anything you'd like with the arms, try to do the same thing you did on the other side. Bump your left hip a little to the right. And then pivot to the front of your mat, runner's lunge. Square your hips. Squeeze your inner thighs and reach both arms up. Big bend in the left knee, almost 90 degrees. Inhale, look up. Exhale, palm the mat. Step back, Vinyasa. Let's meet downward facing dog. We're gonna build on that sequence. So we'll do the sequence 3 times total, each time adding a few more moves. That was round 1. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, take a step to your thumb. Warrior 1, both arms up. Exhale, goddess to the left. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, warrior 2, back of your mat. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, side angle. Skandasana, flying monkey to the front. Take your time with the pivot, don't rush it. Runner's lunge, face forward. Both arms up, crescent, and pause. Take an inhale here. On your exhale, twist to the right. Right arm back, left arm forward. If that's too much, right hand, right hip. Think of sinking the right hip a little bit. Squeeze your left glute. And then right hand, right hip, reach the left arm up and back. Melt the left shoulder down, try to square your shoulders forward. Plant your left hand inside your right foot and reach your right arm up for a twist. Stack the shoulders, gaze up. You'll look in front of your mat. It's kind of a big transition. The right hand will go forward. You'll open up to the left, half moon. Imagine you're in between 2 panes of glass. This is a great time for a block under the right hand if you have it. Left foot flexed, gaze down easier. Gaze up is more challenging. And release, left hand down. Tap your left knee to your right calf, Shiva Squat. Hands on the mat. Hug your left heel towards your butt, and then step your feet towards each other. Knees are bent, Utkatasana for 3. Weight to heels, 2. 1, forward fold, straight legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Palm the mat, step or jump back, Vinyasa. Meet in downward facing dog. Left side, inhale, left leg up. Exhale, step up to your thumb. Right heel down, warrior 1, inhale. And goddess to the right, exhale. Straight legs, rise. Warrior 2 to the back. Flip your palm and reverse. Side angle. Find the pace of your breath. Move with it. Skandasana to the front. Take your time. Pivot, runners, face forward. Both arms up, crescent. Pause. Twist to the left. Left arm back, right arm forward. Think of sinking your left hip a little bit. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Reach your right arm up and back. Square the shoulders forward. Squeeze your right leg. Right hand down to the mat. Left arm up, twisting. Now, it's a big transition. You'll look forward. Left hand goes forward and you open up to the right. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Right foot flexed, hip stack, shoulder stack. Belly button towards your spine. Find your breath, don't hold it. Shiva Squat, both hands down, right knee, left calf. Hug your right heel towards your seat. Try to pull the shoulders back like you do in your halfway lift. And then step your feet together. Knees bent, Utkatasana, arms up for 3, 2, 1, forward fold, straight legs. Halfway lift, and Vinyasa. Use down dog as an opportunity to come back to your breathing if you've lost it. Inhales, exhales through your nose. Little contraction back of your throat. We've got one more round with a few more poses. Inhale, lift your right leg up and back. Exhale, take a step to your thumb. Warrior 1, both arms up. And goddess to the left. Inhale, straight legs. Exhale, warrior 2, back of your mat. Flip your palm in reverse. Exhale, side angle. Flying monkey, front of your mat. Take your time with the pivot. Don't rush it. Both arms up, crescent. Exhale, twist to the right. Right hand to the right hip or back of the left thigh as you curl back, square the shoulders. That's your inhale. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up, twisting. Look forward, big unwind. Take your time. We'll pause here for a breath. So get into your half moon. Take an inhale. Exhale, Shiva Squat, hands to the mat, or hands heart center. We'll step left foot to meet right, Utkatasana with hands at heart. Your knees are bent, hands heart center. Keep your left leg where it is. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your right toes. Figure 4. Come up to stand, right knee in front of you. Left hand, right knee, and right arm goes back, twist. You'll notice the right knee wants to come across the midline. Keep pressing it out to the right. That's going well, and you can keep your left leg straight. That's the priority. So if you can keep your left leg straight, you might try left hand for the right foot. 3, 2, 1. Unwind your torso, bring your arms up for 3, 2, 1. Big step back with your right foot. Turn to the long edge of your mat and bring your arms out wide. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Line your fingertips up with your toe tips. Wider stance will be easier, shorter stance harder. Find some length through your waist and your spine. You're not just squeezing the inner thighs, but also the outer thighs. Focus on those exhales for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk towards the front of your mat, lizard pose. Both hands inside the left foot. Hug your left knee towards your left shoulder. Press the back of your right knee up. Look down between your hands. And then drop your right knee. We'll go crooked monkey. Bump your left toes out. Left hand to the thigh, or maybe you reach back for your right foot. Melt your hips forward. Should feel this in both hips, definitely. Release the back foot if you've got it. We'll bring both hands down to the mat inside the left foot. Right toes tuck, left leg up behind you. You're in down dog splits. Option 1, bend the knee and shift forward. Then just go to side plank on the right, or roll to the outer edge of your right foot, step your left foot behind you, wild thing, flip dog. If you're going wild thing, you're gonna look at either hand. That will be best for your neck instead of just looking up at the ceiling. 3, 2, 1. Left hand down. Slide your left knee behind your left wrist. Pigeon pose. Your right leg is long behind you. Top of the foot down. Pigeon pose ever doesn't feel good, seated figure 4 or supine figure 4 is great. Otherwise, forearms, palms, whatever you need. We'll be here for a little bit. Try to find some stillness. Soften into your left hip. Relax your shoulders. Unclench your jaw. Where can you welcome a little bit more stillness and softness into your body? Full breaths in, complete breaths out. If you'd like some more sensation, you could walk hands over to the right. Just a few more breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands back under your shoulders. Tuck your right toes. Step back, optional vinyasa, or just meet in a downward facing dog. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog, and then we're gonna do that entire sequence on the left side, ending with our pigeon pose. Inhale, lift your left leg up and back. Exhale, step up towards your left thumb. Spin your right heel down, rise up, warrior 1. Exhale, goddess to the right. Rise, straight legs, arms up. Warrior 2, back of your mat. Keep your legs, reverse warrior. And exhale, side angle. Finish your breath, flying monkey to the front. Right toes point up. And then pivot, runner's lunge, face forward. Both arms up, big inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. Left hand to the hip or back of the thigh. Reach your right arm back. Square the shoulders. Right hand down inside the foot, left arm lifting. Look in front of your mat. We'll bump it forward, half moon. And once you get there, pause for a breath. So take an inhale in your half moon. And then exhale, Shiva Squat with hands to the mat or heart center. Step your feet together, Utkatasana with prayer hands. Prayer hands, heart center, knees bent. Keep your right leg exactly as it is. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Toes flexed. Sit back. And then come up to stand, left knee in front of you. Right hand, grab your left knee and twist to the left. Now keep pressing the left knee out to the left. And if you can keep your right leg straight, go ahead and try for the left foot. I don't want you to compromise that standing leg being straight just to grab the foot because it looks cooler. Not necessarily about how the pose looks. Try to get the alignment down first and then go for it. All right, unwind your torso, bring your arms up, straighten your leg forward, transverse abs in for 3. It's hard, I know, 2. 1, big step back, left foot, turn to the left. Bind your hands behind your back. Inhale, open your chest, look up. Keep the grip and fold. Now once you're down, if you prefer to release your hands and take something else, feel free. Find some length through your waist. Flip your tailbone up, squeeze your core. So everything around the hips is really squeezing. The inner thighs, hip flexors, transverse abs. Last breath here. And release your hands to the mat. Halfway lift on your inhale and walk towards the front of your mat, lizard pose. Both hands inside the right foot. Hug right knee towards right shoulder. Imagine your arms could go through the mat. And then drop your left knee. Untuck your toes. Turn your right toes out. Right hand to the right knee. Maybe you reach back for your foot. You know, if you reach back for the foot and you start to feel a hamstring cramp, you should definitely release it, but just know that is pretty natural. And then gradually release the back foot if you've got it, both hands down. Tuck your left toes. We're going down dog splits. Right leg is up. Bend the right knee. Stack your right hip over your left. Shift your weight forward so the shoulders are over the wrists. You can either take side plank, Sukasana on the left, or take a gentle step with the right foot behind for wild thing. Left shoulder really strong. Imagine that left hand is sliding a piece of paper forward, so it's a press, not just a dump into the hands. And release. Right hand down, slide right knee behind right wrist. Left leg long behind you, pigeon pose. Side 2 might feel different. Give yourself some grace. Make your way into your final expression without rushing it. Try to find your breath, find a little stillness once you get there. Instead of, resisting the stretch or thinking about maybe how tight your hips are, just try to give into it. Fully surrender to this pigeon pose. After you make the commitment to surrender, to give in, the pose becomes a little bit easier. A few more breaths. Slowly start to walk your hands back under your shoulders. This time you're going to roll onto your right hip. Swing your left leg around. Both legs extend forward towards the top of your mat. Move the fleshy part of your seat out from underneath you so you can feel the sitting bones ground and your pelvis is tilting forward. Flex your feet and reach your arms up. You're in an L shape, nice and active. Toes pulling back. And then leading with your heart, almost like you're casting a net forward. So leading. Try to crawl your belly down your thighs. So if you need to bend your knees, go for it. You're leading with your heart and the shoulders pull back. Now you don't have to grab your feet. You could grab your shins or ankles instead. The feet is not mandatory. However, I want your pelvis to be tilting forward. You're crawling down your thighs. So instead of just rounding right away, maybe you stop right here, and that's great. You're still feeling the stretch through the lower back. You're doing it correctly so that each time you come back to it, you can go a little bit further. If you just keep doing it the incorrect way, you're never going to make any progress. So better to take a step back, do it correctly. And then walk your hands back towards you. Bump your hips forward and lay all the way down. Once you're there, plant your feet on the mat, arms by your side, palms face down. We've got one back bend today. One back bend to make it your best, no pressure. If you'd like bridge or upward bow, there's no right or wrong. There's lots of options. You could just lift your hips up, bridge pose. You could go upward bow. You could bind your hands underneath you. You could maybe try to catch your ankles. To me, that's pretty challenging. My arms don't feel long enough. I like the bind. Press the outside edge of the hands into the mat. Firm your glutes, and then imagine squeezing a yoga block between your knees for 3, 2, 1. If your hands are bound or you're moving a block or you're using a block, you could definitely stay, but release that when you're ready and bring your hips down. Hug your knees into your chest. Bring your knees to your armpits. Catch the outside edges of your feet or ankles, happy baby. Tailbone wants to lift, pull it back down. Think of gluing the lower back down to the mat. Flex your feet like you're stamping the heels up, and then a little tuck of the chin. Try to pull the shin bones down in towards the knee joint. If it feels good, add a rock, bend and straighten your legs. If it really is not possible for you to grab the feet or ankles, this would also be a great time for 2 straps to catch your feet. Could also grab the backs of your knees. Release whatever grip you've got. Bring both knees together. We're coming full circle. Just how we started, take knees left, gaze right. If you prefer to wrap one leg on top, go for it. Allow this one to be pretty passive. Melting sensation, no need to squeeze. Allow gravity to help you out. Get that right shoulder blade a little closer to the mat. Slowly start to guide your knees back through center, and then take both knees over to the right. After you realign your spine, gaze to the left. Melting sensation, no need to force. Release some contraction here, let go. And then slowly bring your knees back through center. Give yourself a squeeze. And then extend your legs, sprawl your arms. Make any adjustments you need to feel more comfortable, whether it's adjusting clothes, allowing your lips to part, natural breathing resume. Releasing some contraction with each exhale, maybe focusing on a part of the body where you can soften. It's the inner thighs, the palms, the space between the eyebrows or the abdomen. Shavasana. We'll spend a few breaths here, but of course, if you have time to pause the video and stay longer, I always encourage that. Slowly bring some awareness back to your body, fingers, toes. Like I said, if you have time to stay, please do. When you're ready, big stretch. Arms overhead, toes point. Knees to chest. And roll to one side. Fetal pose. Use your bicep as a pillow. Allow your body to rest and soften. And then gradually make your way up to a comfortable seat. Heavy sitting bones, shoulders relaxed, little length through the crown of your head. Soft downward gaze or eyes closed. Bring your hands to your heart center, press your thumbs into your sternum. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, sigh. Bow your head. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of whatever this week has. I can't wait to see you back on your mat next time. Namaste.